So, as we left from the previous day, today we would be focusing upon the background section of Attention is All You Need paper. Hello everyone, this is Nashit and welcome to the day 6 of 100 days to understand ChatGPT architecture. Before you begin any problem, the question that you really want to ask is why? Why do we need to solve this issue? Is this an issue worth solving? Well, these are the questions that we would be dealing with today. Why do we need transformer architecture? Why exactly does a scientist at Google wanted to come up with a transformer architecture? The background section of the Attention is All You Need paper introduces key concepts and sets stage for introduction to transformer model. Here's the breakdown. Reducing sequential components. The primary goal discussed here in the paper is to reduce the sequential component of the neural networks. The SQL computation, typically in the models like recurrent neural networks, processes data sequentially, which is very slow and inefficient, especially for long sequences. Also, they discuss the prior models, extended neural GPU, ByteNet, conv S2S, if I'm not wrong. These models were mentioned in the model, were mentioned as predecessors of the transformer model. They were used as convolutional. They all had the concept of combination of convolutional neural networks along with the RNNs. And this representation could achieve some parallelism, but however, they had their own limitations. Let's talk about the extended neural GPU. Not specifically detailed in the paper, but it's a model that tries to combine the strength of CNNs and RNNs. But let's try to understand exactly what this architecture was all about. To understand it better, let's break down the concept. The original neural GPU paper, which was introduced, the network which was introduced by, again, Google, is the neural network architecture that combines the aspect of both convolutional neural networks, CNNs, and the recurrent neural networks, the RNNs. The idea is to create a model that can do parallel processing with the ability of CNNs and sequential data processing by the help of RNNs. The extended neural GPU refers to the development or extension of extended part that can vary depending upon the context, which was in the research specific paper. But generally, it implies to improvement or modification made by original neural GPU architecture to enhance its performance. Similarly, the ByteNet and conv S2S, these models, the number of operations required to relate signal or information from two arbitrary positions in the input or output increases with the distance between those positions. So for conv S2S, this generally growth is a linear, but for ByteNet, it is logarithmic. This means, okay, long story short, this means that they were less efficient at learning dependencies between distant positions in a sequence. And that's where the transformer models were introduced. In contrast to above models, they reduce the number of operations required to relate the distant position to a constant number. However, this comes at a cost of reduced effectiveness resolution due to averaging of the attention weighted mechanism. To counteract this, they introduced multi-head attentions, which we'll elaborate in the subsequent videos. Also, the paper then discusses something known as self-attention, again a mechanism that relates to different positions in the sequence, in the single sequence to compute the representation. The self-attention has been successfully used in various tasks like reading comprehension or abstractive summarization. This contrasted with the model based upon recurrent attention mechanism such as end-to-end memory networks. They perform well in the task like question answering, but were not very efficient in as the self-attention models. Finally, the paper asserts that the transformer model is unique and relies solely on self-attention for computation representation of its inputs and outputs without using sequence-aligned RNNs or convolution. Okay, that's now the way that they have introduced the background for the transformers. Tomorrow, we will go through the high level of the model architecture and then deep dive into the same. All right, from tomorrow, we'll look at the architecture and hopefully I'll see you guys then. Peace.